Yo, what up guys, it's your boy Chris here. Welcome back to another breakdown. And today we are breaking down the greatest TV show on television. Dana White Contender Series is back this Tuesday. Tomorrow, actually. Well, actually, according to my the time I'm recording this, it is today. I'm so excited for this card. A few fights are like, obviously, it's Dana White Contender Series. There's a lot of fights that are minus 11,000. We all know how it is, but there are some competitive fights on this card. I am very excited for some of the prospects on this card because they could be something in the UFC. Let's get into it with the first fight of the evening. John Kuhneman versus Joe Kropschnot. I'm gonna call him Joe and John because obviously we can tell that I'm not too good at pronouncing the name. Cunningman, and Krofschnaut, whatever. Uh, let's get into it. Obviously, I'm gonna start with Joe. Joe is decent. He is a former LFA middleweight champion, but he had one of the flukiest wins I've ever seen. He at like the last moment just latched up a submission after getting his ass beat for a majority of that fight. He's not bad, but I think he's gonna lose this one. He has a really good jiu-jitsu game, slick submissions, active off his back, good takedowns. His striking is not very good. He has some good leg kicks. He has a good leg kick jab combo, and he does double up his jab. That's probably his best weapon on the feet is his jab. And he has some sound defense on the feet. He has a high guard defense. He's an all-around okay fighter, but I don't think he's UFC level. And with John, I just really think he's going to be able to destroy him with pressure pretty much. Because from what I've seen, John hates pressure. When he gets pressured heavily, he crumbles, his defense goes, he kind of wilts. It's just not good. He does not react well to getting punched at all. He doesn't have a good chin. He gets knocked down in a lot of his fights. He has poor leg kick defense. And he's just like, he's not an athlete. He is very slow. He doesn't have power. He doesn't throw combinations. His counter game is minimal. He backs up quite a bit. And again, his speed is just, it's like a snail. And he doesn't circle out well, so he gets stuck on the cage a lot. And with John, John's just a crazy fighter. He is a wild man, pretty much. He's a really good wrestler. He has a solid submission game. Heavy ground and pound that opens up submissions. He closes distance very well. Constantly moves forwards. Relentless pressure, relentless takedowns. And I think he's going to be able to knock out Joe pretty early on. I think he is the minus 500 for a reason. See, these odds aren't real because I'm seeing Joe as like a minus 500 on DraftKings. But I think John's going to knock him out. I think the pressure of John is going to be way too much. He has some very nasty hooks. And he throws every punch and every strike he throws with incredible power. He gasses out. Eventually he will gas out. I mean, I think he'll eventually get knocked out cold in the UFC if he does get a contract, because he has so many openings on the feet. He's not very precise. He has a lot of openings to counters when he's just wildly throwing overhands. And he hasn't really fought any good competition. Joe definitely has the edge on the competition, but I think we've seen John just dominate the shit competition, while we've seen Joe struggle with the shit competition and lose to the good fighters. Obviously, one's undefeated, one's not. I'm going to go round 1 KO or submission for John Cunningman. On to a Dana White Contender Series alumni in one of the craziest fights I've ever seen live. The birth of Marwan Rahiki. This is going to age well, this loss, because he had Rahiki on skates multiple times. Obviously, we see it's a very close fight. We have Ananis Malumbo versus Tom Pagliaroa. Pagliaroa? Pagliaroa? Pagliarolo. Whatever, I'm gonna call him Tom. I'm gonna call him Malumbo. I think Malumbo wins this one by KO. Malumbo had a close fight with Rahiki, was up 2 rounds in that fight. Arguably should have gotten the... If there was a lesser referee in that fight, he'd be in the UFC right now. And Tom is just really unproven against decent level competitions. Yes, he had one fight in the PFL against a 9-6 competition, then 15-7, not bad. 2-9. I couldn't find any footage of this dude. He has very low. He doesn't have a lot of fights on YouTube or on anything. Couldn't find any footage of this fight, but Malumbo has a lot of footage, and we've seen Malumbo is just crazy. He's very powerful. He throws everything with 100% power. He has very good ground and pound, great takedowns. He's very well rounded. He is very physical. He'll come forwards, he'll throw meaty hooks at you. He flows very nicely on the ground, and he's accurate on the ground. He transitions very well. He lands his elbows and his hammer fists. He doesn't really let people get up. He has a really good control game, and he has a good submission game. And he starts very fast. A lot of his finishes are in round one. He definitely has the physicality advantage over a lot of fighters. He's very strong, but in this fight, he's at a severe disadvantage in height. He is almost 6 inches shorter than Tom. He's very hittable, and Tom is very powerful. He's not very versatile in terms of submissions. He only has a rear naked choke. And when he chases his takedowns, he does give up his neck, very similar to BSD. So if Tom has a good ghillie, which I haven't seen, but very possible, he could get that neck. He doesn't have an iron chin. Obviously he got knocked out cold by Rahiki, but Rahiki has freaky power. He doesn't have the best finishing instincts. Obviously, we saw he couldn't get Rahiki out of there. He overextends, he overcommits on a lot of punches, leaving a lot of openings on his chin. And he gasses out in the later rounds. This is a very close fight. Before rewatching that Rahiki fight, I was leaning Tom to win this one. But I think Malumbo has the jitters of being on Dana White's Contender Series out. I think he's just the much more experienced fighter. Obviously, they have the same record, but the level of competition that Malumbo has fought is better than Tom. And Tom is just a very good striker. He isn't one-dimensional on the feet. I have not seen anything in terms of wrestling. I've seen some, but there's not enough to really quantify. I can't talk too much about his wrestling. I've seen that he doesn't have a submission threat. He will jump a ghillie, though, so that concerns me. I've seen him jump a couple ghillies. He does give up ghillie chokes quite often, though. So, Malumbo could get that neck, too. He's very tall. His legs are just there to be destroyed, and I think Malumbo is going to capitalize on that. I think he's going to hammer leg kicks. Because of the frame of Tom, I really do think he's going to be getting hit clean with those leg kicks. And in all of the fights I was watching, he has really good hook defense, but his straight punches just go right through his guard. And again, he doesn't really offensively wrestle. His hands are often very low, very easily countered, and he just has really simple counters. But on the feet, he is very fast, very powerful, really well-rounded. He uses all of his limbs very well. He uses teeps to keep range. He sets up his shots very well. He has good boxing combinations, really well-timed combinations, really well-timed knees up the middle. Solid takedown defense. He moves his head and body really well. He is an athlete. He has good, comfortable. He's a very natural counter striker, and he's high volume on the feet. But I've never seen this dude go past the second round. Yeah, I can't actually see. Hold on, let me click on him so I can actually see the first round. Was it? Are there most of them in the first round? Yeah, round one, round one, round one. The only fight he lost went to round three. Hey, he has a gilly. Yeah, he's kind of a first round fighter. I've never seen him get out of the first round in any of the footage I watched. He doesn't have good leg kick defense. I think Malumbo's just gonna out physicality him. I think it's gonna be competitive on the feet. Malumbo's gonna get cracked. I think uh Pagliaroa is gonna get cracked too. I think this is gonna be a very fun fight to watch. But I think Malumbo is much more well rounded. I think he'll be able to take down Tom, and I think the difference in the fight will be the ground and pound of Malumbo. He will either win by submission or KO. I don't see this one going to the scorecards. Either way, I see a finish. If Malumbo wins, I think he gets a KO or sub. But Tom is definitely going to win by a KO if he wins. Because, but again, if you haven't watched this Malumbo versus Rahiki fight, watch it. Was the second best Contender Series fight behind Vologden, obviously. And he's staying active. He lost. He's only fought 4 months ago. Tom's been out of the cage for a year. The ring rust, plus the, Dana White Contender Series, big stage jitters. I think Malumbo can win this one pretty confidently. On to, by far, the easiest pick of the night. Bilal Hassan is going to knock out the Indian Miridol Sakia first round, probably under a minute. He's going to knock out Sakia. There's not much to say. This dude's a massive prospect. What division is he in? He's a flyweight. Oh, he's going to dominate. He's going to be ranked by the end of 2027. He's going to be a ranked fighter. He is so talented. This Indian is not very good. I'm just going to be blatant. The Indians, nothing against them personally, but they are not fighters. They're definitely not fighters. Let's get into this dude. But Hassan, this dude, I watched so many of his fights. He's so wildly entertaining, very well rounded. There's nowhere where he'll be outmatched in this fight particularly, but in most fights, he won't be outmatched in one particular article of the fight. He switches stances very well. His kicking game is phenomenal. He has some of the most beautiful body work I've ever seen. The hooks to the body. The main thing I really saw about the body work was his devastating body kick. He lands those so often and so clean. He has just overall really fast kicks on every level. He hammers leg kicks, hammers body kicks, and then he'll do a switch head kick real quick, catch you off guard. He has it everywhere on the feet. He has really clean counter strikes, good head movement. His distance control is phenomenal. Really high control IQ. Really clean pull counter, like the one Connor landed on Aldo. Clean counters, really clean combinations. He'll string together 5-6 punch combinations. And again, he doesn't headhunt, which is beautiful because he does that. Whenever I see in one of the fights I watched, it really gave me Khalil Rountree versus Alex Pereira finishing sequence when Pereira was just throwing everything: left hook, body hook, knee to the head, body hook, head hook. Beautiful combinations. He has beautiful shot selection. He has really good timing on his strikes. He catches legs very well, and he can actually follow them to the ground, and he often will. He has solid spinning attacks. Sometimes he overspins and just kind of wastes energy. But again, he constantly goes forwards, but even in those slight moments where he does back up, he is incredibly good on the back foot because of his counters, because of how fast he is. He just has really nasty striking. His boxing is very sharp. He doesn't overextend. He knows perfectly how to land a punch at the exact moment when you're coming in. He'll get a hook right in. He's just nasty. Hassan's just really good. But he does have a few flaws in his game, but not anything substantial. He doesn't cut off the cage at an elite level. He does kind of let his opponent circle around him. Hands really low. he exits pocket engagement with his chin super high, and his bouncy footwork, like his like fast twitch movements, often result in him getting swept off his feet by like simple leg kicks. And I mean, his takedown defense isn't the greatest, but he does have pretty solid bottom jiu-jitsu, so he can do well. And he struggles to disengage the clinch sometimes, but all around, he's just gonna destroy this Meridol. There's just really nothing Meridol can do in this fight. He has solid submissions and he has decent kicks, but there's literally no reason for me to break him down. He's just not gonna win this. He's a plus 13. He's decent. Like he's okay, but Hassan is legitimately a prospect, and I expect Hassan to knock him out within, I'd say, under 2.5 minutes. This fight should be over. So, moving on to the other most competitive fight of this card, Fabrizio Escargetta versus Abe Alcingir. This is a very competitive fight. Now, I'm leaning Escargetta to win this one purely because I don't believe in Abe. Abe is 8-0, but 7-7, 15-32, 42-22, 11-5. Just his competition is just bad. And I'm half Lebanese, so obviously I'm rooting for him to win, but I'm definitely leaning Escargetta. And in what fight was it? He fought in, where was it? He fought in Karate Combat, and I don't know the exact rules of Karate Combat, but he was getting taken down at will by someone that does not look very good. But on to the positives of Escargetta. This dude's a very good striker, and his pace and pressure is probably the best on this card. He throws so much at his opponent. He breaks him with volume and pace. He's able to string together 5, 6 punch combinations. He's a good counter striker. He constantly moves forwards. He punishes his opponents when they back up to the fence. Does not headhunt. Targets all the body, all the legs. Targets everything perfectly. And in the pocket, he's a menace, dude. His knees, his like uppercuts, everything is so clean. He has good range management, clean jab, and he does a good job of breaking up his opponent's rhythm while he's throwing combinations. And he's just an absolute dog. He does not quit on himself. He has a really good shin, very durable, fast hands. And his grappling, I mean, I didn't get to see too much of it because most of the fights I was available to me were first round or second round KOs where they were just straight up striking. But from what I saw, he has a really good clinch and body lock. He has good top pressure. He has good solid control. Nasty ground and pound. His elbows slice right through the guard on the bottom, really damaging. And he flows well on the mat. He has good scrambles, good reversals. And he has a solid submission game. It's not overwhelming. I'd say Abe definitely is the better submission artist, but I would give Escargetta. He's not in deep waters. I think he can handle himself in the grappling. But most of his negatives, in my opinion, is just his takedowns are pretty bad. He fails a lot. He's not very explosive. And he can't get them in open space. And well, obviously he's kind of a brawler, so he gets into brawls all the time. So eventually that's gonna, you know, that's really gonna blow up in his face. And he gets hit a lot because he doesn't move his head a lot. But obviously his pace makes him slow down later in rounds. And he has a low level competition, but again, I would give him the step up in competition purely because like he's fighting in somewhat known companies. This dude's fighting in Legends of Combat. I think this was a title fight. If I hold on, let me check. I believe this was a title fight. Yeah, it was. Oh no, this was a title fight. This was. I did watch this grappling match. Yeah, he's just a really highly touted grappler. On to Abe. He's good. Uh, Crafty submission game. He's very strong. Pretty much everything positive I have to say about him is wrestling and grappling related because his striking is like an unknown in my opinion. I never really got to see it. I mean, he has fast hands from what I see. He has power in his hands. He's a very natural counter striker. It comes to him very easily. He can close distance very well. He always looks for combinations on the feet, and he has really good leg kicks. And just his grappling is really good. He constantly looks for submissions, really good takedowns, has good cardio, really good transitions, good flows, violent ground and pound, very violent ground and pound, and has a really good submission game. And he has a really good clinch control, so he's able to hold opponents against the fence. He's able to get trips off of the clinch. He's able to stay on top, and he's heavy on top. He's hard to get up off. But his takedown defense is terrible. I was watching him get ragdolled by randos, like straight up picked up, dunked, get up, picked up, dunked multiple times. He puts everything in every shot he has, so he can get countered very easily. He doesn't set up his takedowns with strikes, and he doesn't have the best control. And he fights off the back foot very often. And because of his lack of range, I mean, it says these are similar heights, but I think he's a couple inches taller than him. In the weigh-ins, he looks a couple inches taller. He's very stubby armed. He's gonna be at an extreme disadvantage in the range, and he only targets the head. I've never seen him go for a body shot. I think Escarget is just gonna be able to piece him up on the feet. I think the volume, the pace is gonna be way too much for Abe, and because Abe accepts the back foot so often, I think Escarget is just going to break him, and eventually he's probably going to get a body shot KO. I'm guessing round 2 KO. But this could go either way. Abe could expose the wrestling, because Escarget, again, that karate combat fight really showed bad takedown defense, but I don't know if it's just because of the rules that he was getting taken down. I don't know. Because fundamentally, in a lot of his other fights, he looks pretty sound defensively, but Abe could just take him down and control him and get a early submission win, but I'm leaning on the side of the better striker, the more active fighter, right? 10 months, yeah, the much more active fighter. Like in cage, much more active fighter, just throws a lot more volume, throws a lot more, makes his opponent thinks a lot more. And yeah, I'm gonna go Escargetta by KO. I think every fight will be a KO. On to one of the easiest main events I've ever had to pick. Wint is just gonna destroy Matt Adams. Matt Adams came in a lot skinnier in this fight than he normally does. He looks a lot slimmer, but Wint is just a fucking phenom. This dude is scary. I don't know how Bilal is a bigger favorite than this dude. Yeah, Matt is just like kind of like a fat heavyweight with really good wrestling. Not really good, but pretty high level wrestling. Matt, very durable. He has good ground and pound, relentless wrestling, good top pressure, and he has a submission threat. And the only time he does well is when he is the nail or when he is the hammer, not the nail. And on the feet, he's like a decent boxer. He has decent boxing, but nothing to, write home about. Wint, on the other hand, Wint is so physical and comes out of the gate so fast and is so powerful that I think he just bulldozes Matt Adams in this one. I think he gets a round 1 finish. Wint could actually be ranked. I believe he will be ranked. He has pretty much everything. His submission game is lacking. He definitely doesn't have the fundamentals down. His jiu-jitsu is not too, it's like clunky, but he has a very, very good double leg. He's explosive. He's incredibly strong. His ground and pound is violent. He's very fast. He's light on his feet. He's stocky. He's athletic. He pushes his opponents against the fence. He hammers big shots early, constantly goes forwards. He's not sluggish. I mean, he's green. He's very green. He's reliant on his double leg takedown. He is gonna have clear cardio issues. He has a lack of any type of kicking game, a lacks precision, doesn't set up his shots, and his leg kick defense is terrible. And he does get overly confident, overly aggressive, and he does leave openings, but his wild, explosive, just first round is going to be so hard for all the fatties at heavyweight to deal with that I think he could go far in the heavyweight division just off his pure athleticism and strength. He is devastatingly strong, devastating power. I think he flatlines Matt Adams, or he runs at him, gets a double leg, and just rains down ground and pound. Because that happened to Matt Adams in this fight, I think. I think this is what they're calling the Russian Khabib. This dude just took him down and just beat his ass for fucking 10 minutes violently. And that's kind of what Wint does. I'm definitely going Wint by round 1 KO. I don't think this goes past round 1, and I literally don't think there's a world where Matt Adams wins this. That's my prediction for night 1, or not night 1, but week 1 of Dana White's Contender Series. I'm very excited. Let me know your guys' predictions in the comment below. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.